Hello, hello, good morning or afternoon. I was saying good morning. What time is it? We had the eclipse today, so it did feel like it was kind of strange. So as you come on, hi Pamela, hey Cheryl, hey Wendy, hey Joy. As you come on, I'm going to be letting people in. And as you come on, let me know if you have hey Cheryl, let me know if you have your notebook and your pens ready. Does everybody have them? And you can put in the chat because I'm going to keep everybody muted tonight and I'll kind of let y'all know exactly what's going on. Okay, I'm so excited. I am so excited you're here. I see April here, Shelly, Allison, so happy y'all are here. This is something that oh my gosh, I was just talking to my friend Brendan a minute ago, and this is something that, man, I would have wished so much somebody would have had this for me nearly 2 decades ago. Like, this is something that I would have been so happy to learn. So I just want to say, as you are learning tonight, as you are taking notes, just know that we have your best interest at heart. We are so excited for you. And we're just going to talk about a bunch of stuff tonight, kind of what to expect this week. Let me know if you have your, go ahead and put in the chat. Do you have a drink tonight? It can be sweet tea. It could be a wine. I have a wine here tonight. I'm having some white wine. But I just want to say cheers. Cheers to you and your future endeavors. I'm so excited for what is going to happen. So let's go ahead and cheers, and then we're going to get started. Sound good? All right. Cheers, everyone. I know I almost did a coffee and then I was like, oh, I better not do a coffee tonight. Okay. All right. So make sure you can hear me. And if you have yours unmute by any reason, just go ahead and mute because we have a lot of people on and I want to make sure everybody can hear everything. All right. And I got my team on here. They are helping with questions in the comments in the chat. So if you do have questions, please ask. Cheers with water is great. That is totally fine. Okay, so I have my notes here. I want to make sure I go over everything. Now, the main thing I want to remind you is for all of you that are either brand new to this or you've been doing this a while, I opened up to Paint Party headquarters, I believe it was last week. I had a day, and let me know in the chat if you've ever had a day like this, but I had a day where I literally was like in bed until 4 o'clock. I could not get out of bed that day. And I think sometimes, like, when we have those days, we think that it's not going to work for us. We can't have this happen. You know, who are we to chase something like this, right? And I remember that day I had a paint party that night. And I was like, man, I got to get it together. And I was telling Bobby, like, I don't know if I can do this. I just don't know if I can do this. And so I want to tell you whether or not you are starting from brand new or you have been doing this nearly 2 decades like me, that you are still going to have times like this, that sometimes you're going to have bad days. And that doesn't mean that you can't do this. Okay. Sometimes you're going to have bad days. Sometimes you're going to have days when you feel like, you know, nothing is working right. Sometimes you're going to have days where it's like, oh, you know, but it's okay. So I want to tell you, business is mostly mental. Okay. How many of you saw the eclipse today? Ah, okay. Wasn't that the coolest thing in the world? Did anybody cry? I almost cried. Like, I was not expecting it to be that cool. Oh, can everybody hear me? I have Lynn saying she can't hear, so let me know if y'all can hear me.
I think her screen is on.
Yeah. I think I know, Desiree. I know that's how I felt. I felt like, oh my gosh, I am praising God right now because it was crazy how so many things, like, no matter what's going on in the world, like, that moon went in front of that sun, no matter what. Nobody could stop it. Like, that is God. And I just love that. And I mean, seeing it, and then just like, I mean, Bobby went crazy. I mean, it was just so cool. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. And so I wanted to share this quote with you because I heard that the next one isn't for, like, I think I'm going to be 65 and I think it's in Florida or something. And so I thought about like, okay, first off, I got to get to Florida when I'm 65. I got to make sure I'm there so I can see this again. But I thought about this quote and it talked about how, let me see if I can get it right. I don't want to mess it up. It said in 6 months, you will either have 6 months of progress or 6 months of excuses. The choice is yours. So that's your first thing to write down tonight. Okay. All right. So I'm going to repeat it again for everybody in the back. In 6 months, you will either have 6 months of progress or 6 months of excuses. The choice is yours. So the reason I say that is because time's going to pass anyway. Eventually, I'm going to be 65 and looking at a solar eclipse in Florida, and the time is going to pass, and I'm going to be there watching that, having fun, and I could either have created the life I wanted, or that time's going to pass anyway. So why not go towards something we want? And so I just want to welcome you to this week. We have a big week planned. Just put a number 1. If you are brand new at teaching paint parties, put a number 1 in the chat. If you have been teaching paint parties, but maybe you just need re-inspired, put a 2, okay? And then put a 3 if you're just like, I'm just curious. I'm just curious what this is. Maybe it's something I can do to make extra money, but I'm not real sure. Okay, awesome, Christy. Very cool. Kathy, very cool. Welcome. Christine, brand new. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay. All right. So again, this whole week is about, I'm just going to kind of break down what this week is about so you can put it on your calendar so you don't miss anything. And like I said, we have never done this style of a week before where it's all taught live. And then on Friday, we're going to have a kind of after party and we will be answering your questions and helping you as much as you can. So as you have questions, go ahead and write them down. We're also going to do a post tomorrow morning where you can put all your questions under that post inside the virtual apprentice. That way we can make sure that we get it all done. Okay, so the virtual apprentice is shadow me as I shop, pack, and teach a paint party. It's so funny. Pixie, okay, so we had a paint party on Saturday. And we had 12 people sign up and 8 of them showed up. Okay. 4 of those people were by one of the group that was there. So I just put all their stuff, stacked it together, sent them home with paintbrushes. It was the easiest $420 I made. I literally just hung out. I actually, you know how I say I never paint during my paint parties? They were so calm. I painted the whole time. I just sat there and painted. Like that's how calm it was. I was there by myself and Bobby helped me set up and then he left and I just hung out and painted and had a great time. So remember, this is like, sometimes you can have these small parties and this is really what we're going to focus on this week is the power of small parties. So for those of you that get intimidated, even though I love a big party, even though if you get intimidated, you don't have to worry. The small parties, there's great money in them and they're very, very easy. So Pixie, her job is to put all of the stuff up after the party. And she said, but Mom, I don't want to put it all up because we're just going to get it back out for the party on Wednesday. And I said, but you don't understand. All of you are watching us pack that so you can see exactly what we do. So she was going to try to be a teenager and skip part of her job so she could just go, we'll put, 10 of these. I was like, nope, we're doing it straight from scratch. So we want to make sure every single person that is watching knows exactly what we're doing. So my goal for you this week, and please let me know what your goal for yourself is, okay? But my goal for you is to sit back, take lots of notes and enjoy the possibilities. Okay. So this is a no pressure. You're not, during the fall ball, we paint, everybody's trying to paint and keep up. You don't have to do any of that this week. This week is all about just watching, being a fly on the wall, seeing a week in the life of my paint party business and seeing what you think, if you have questions, all of that. So I'm very, very, very excited to share with you. I mean, again, like I said, if somebody would have been offering this to me nearly 2 decades ago, I'd have been way further along than I am right now. I wouldn't have had so many mistakes that I had in the early times. Okay, so what to expect day one. This is our going over the week. So you can put a check mark or pat yourself on the back. You have made it to this part. So yes, and my thumb is basically a finger. I don't know what's wrong with my thumbs. Bobby and Pixie say I have the longest, weirdest thumbs. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, day 2. This is tomorrow. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to be on a Facebook Live inside the Virtual Apprentice group. So 11 a.m. for about 30 minutes. Me and Pixie are going shopping for supplies. So we're going shopping to buy all the paints for the painting that I'm teaching on Wednesday. Now, great news. You just, grab a coffee and watch us shop. Okay, just hang out with us. You don't have to be trying to paint. You don't have to try to buy anything, none of that. Okay, then we're going to come home and at 2 p.m. Central. And if you're not sure how to find out what 2 p.m. Central is, go to your world clock. Okay, so in your phone, if you go to your clock right here, if you hit your clock, you can actually go to world clock. And so you could put in Dallas, like I have New York, Rome, Paris, Edinburgh, London, Dallas. Like I have all these different places just because I love to know what time it is there. So you could put in Dallas, or you could name it. I think it might have a place where you can, I was gonna say you could name it Heidi time, but I don't know if it'll allow you to do that. But you can see if it will. So put that in so you know. So at 2 o'clock tomorrow, we're gonna be packing. So we'll have a live going in my art studio as we grab every single thing we need for a paint party. Okay, so you can watch how we do it. Again, you may think that we're way disorganized and that's not the way you would do it. That is totally okay. Yeah, and you don't have to paint it all. It's just all listening. This event is just to take the pressure off of everything and just to let you have fun, be a fly on the wall, and watch what goes on during the week. And day 3, on Wednesday, Bobby's going to have my phone and he's going to be live inside the Virtual Apprentice while I teach a paint party in person. Okay, so all of you that are watching, you can be asking questions and we will have my team on there answering. I'm going to be in full teaching mode to the paint party. So it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just like when you teach your paint parties, you want to be there for your in-person customers. So I'm going to be teaching them and you can be watching, still asking questions. And then my team will be on the chat answering questions. Then Thursday, who has trouble with marketing? Put a 1 if you have trouble with marketing. Put a 2 if you feel like you're a marketing master. I want to see how many. Teresa, Joan, Jamie, Linda, Christy, Kelly. Oh, very interesting. Yes, I'm with you. Okay, so how many of y'all realize that even if we don't like marketing, we gotta like learning how to market. We gotta make that a part of our priorities, okay? And that's one of the things that I love about this because I know most artists they don't understand how to do that. And I love helping you be able to do that because again, that's what's gonna make your paint party business go round. So on Thursday, April 11th, so on Thursday at 11 a.m. Central, I'm going to be live and then I'm going to be doing after the party post. So you're going to see exactly how I do my party post, what I do, what I emailed to my guests the night before, all of that kind of stuff. Because just because the party's over does not mean the marketing's over. Okay? So that's something you should probably write down too. Just because the party's over does not mean your marketing's over. That's basically the starting line for your next paint party. Once your party's over, now you're at start line for your next one. Okay, and then day 5. We're going to end with a celebration and Q&A. Okay, so on Friday at 7 p.m. Central, we're going to have a live Q&A. This is where we're going to be just like this. If you like to drink wine, I'll have a glass of wine with you. If you don't drink, no problem. Bring your water, your tea, your coffee, whatever. And then we're going to have a celebratory cheers, and we're going to be answering all of your questions, okay? So that's going to happen on Friday at 7 p.m. Central. And then for any of y'all that are already in, and all of this is going to be recorded. So if you can't make it live, you can watch the recording. So any of y'all that can't make it live, just make sure that you watch the recordings so that you can get the information that you need while we're having this. All right. And then for those of you that are like, oh, I want more, I want to learn more, things like that, then we will be talking about Paint Party Headquarters if you've been interested in it, where you can get all the extra stuff for your paint parties. That'll happen on Friday as well. Okay. I have a challenge for you before you leave. I know this was short and sweet, to the point. I want to make this very, very, very valuable for you. I don't want it to be, a ton of fluff where you're just sitting there and you feel like you're wasting time. So I want to make sure that you are getting value every single time I go live. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Okay. So raise your hand if you are willing to accept the challenge before you even know what it is. I love y'all. Okay. So here it is. I challenge you to not only pray for your business. If you're a praying person, if you're not a praying person, you can, maybe think good thoughts or something like that. It's totally fine. But for y'all praying girls like me, I challenge you to pray for your business. And also, here's where the challenge comes in. Also pray for your competition. I know it's tricky. Why would I pray for someone else to succeed? What if they're in my town? Blah, 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 blah. I want you to get over that, okay? There's other paint party people in my town as well. So it's okay. You can still make money when there are paint party people in your town. When I was teaching on Saturday, I went to the bathroom and they have, let's see, let me show you real quick. They have, it's called Toilet Times. And I was in their bathroom and I was reading their flyer on the wall called Toilet Times. And as I'm reading it, it might take me a minute to find it. As I'm reading it, there was another paint party happening that same month. So did that take away from my paint party? Not one bit. And it was the same location. Same location. So I leave you with this challenge. The challenge for you is to pray for your business and also pray for your competition. So I want you to do, and number one, if you accept the challenge, I want to see who all is willing to accept the challenge in the chat. Yay, Nancy is, Tammy, Robin, Sylvia, Desra. Oh my gosh, I love y'all. I think that's going to take away a lot of the fear of this feeling of there's not enough, there's not enough, there's not enough. Okay, so that's it. So I want to remind you tomorrow, I'm going to see you at 11 a.m. Central and 2 p.m. Central tomorrow. Are you going to be there? Everybody coming? Okay, we have a big, big week in store. We have so much going on for you, and I cannot wait to see you all week long, every single day. Hopefully you won't get tired of this face because I'm coming at you every single day. And I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. All right, cheers, y'all. I'll see you in the morning. Good night.